really hard, like put a lot of pressure onto the anti-mage and his team, especially against this sort of lineup. So I think I like the approach that Vici are going for right now against the AN.
Yeah, it can be quite scary for Na'Vi, and I don't feel like they have that, you know, super good mana break, mana void target. Yeah, like when you play versus Storm, anti-mage can always, you know, come in the fight, just get an extra, you know, an easy kill on the Storm, get his like killing spree or whatever. Here it's gonna be harder to find a target to kill easily with anti-mage.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like Quap, after she's blown everything, you might.
That's probably the best target he has.
Have to hope she doesn't just blink out and then just stand in there. Yeah, it's a tricky one.
Definitely. They don't have the best catch for him though. I mean, Quap might go for Orchid or might not, but
yeah,
they don't have the best catch for anti-mage. Like, so their game plan is definitely the pressure as a team. Just go hit the towers and force anti-mage to like come back and fight.
So Vici Gaming still looking to go for the last ban here. Looking at Na'Vi's lineup, it's kind of hard to determine whether the Lina is a support or is a core. Like Na'Vi can just rotate their lanes and roles very easily.
Undying ban, so they're predicting a Lina mid.
Yeah,
I would assume.
That's one of the interesting things about Lina is it gives you that chance.
That is
there is the wisp.
That is actually something that I think this is the first time Na'Vi have picked up the hero in the event.
They're very good at using Wisp. Soneko is insanely good on the hero, and I think it's a fighting anti-mage. What I see is a fighting anti-mage, and when you think about it, if he maxes mana shield, then he's actually, with the help of Tassel and Wisp, he can be a terror. Like if he goes for, Phobos is also known for the Vlad's Vanguard build, into I just go and fight people. I max mana.
That fourth pick with Lina is actually either very smart, well, it's smart either way, because it's either forced them to throw out Undying, or they've actually predicted that they would probably think that they wanted to remove Undying so they could actually pick the Wisp. So either way, it's a really smart pick in 4.
Oh,
wow.
Alright, that's interesting.
It's gonna be off lane
Yeah.
Quap with Earthshaker. Like it's very interesting that in the sense that it's gonna be very good in the lane to pressure the end.
The lanes are very important, and they're hard to guess for both teams.
They absolutely are. Right, we are almost ready. Players are ready. We're ready. It's going to be a fantastic matchup between Na'Vi and Vici Gaming. It's time to join our commentators. It's the Prince of Denmark and the Vicar of Pixels.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second elimination match of the day. Vici Gaming versus Na'Vi. I think there's a lot of people very excited about this matchup, and I certainly are seeing, especially as we're going to be able to see how pulls off the Luna.
Yeah, there's a couple of really interesting picks in this matchup. I don't think anyone expected the IO last pick. I don't think anyone expected the Luna. You saw the panel, they thought it was a safe lane Queen of Pain. Now the last pick would go to Ice Ice Ice. So both teams a little bit of a mind game here in the draft. I think Matt brings up a very good point. How the lanes get put could have a much bigger impact on this game than other games we've seen today, I think. The Luna is a very risky carry in lane because she's a glass cannon, right? She enables the other heroes in the lane to do a lot of damage because of Lunar Blessing, but at the same time, if she gets open on, can be gone in the blink of an eye. So Na'Vi definitely have heroes that can put on the aggression. So very curious to see how this laning stage works out. With that said, I personally favor Vici's draft quite a bit here. I think the issue for Na'Vi is they don't have a natural combination with the IO. Maybe they can make it work very well with Tusk. As Matt pointed out, if they go for a fighting anti-mage, that's like an all-in play. If that doesn't work very early on, they're going to get super out-carried by a Luna and Shadow Fiend if the anti-mage doesn't go back.
Oh, look at this. Right? Level 1 smoke. They've got the Tusk. He's incredibly strong. He's just notable. Oh, now! How? And the Fish are coming out onto 3. How's going to be fine for the time being? And Funnick, of course, the Soneko turn their attention towards Super. Funnick here looking for the body block. He's going to be able to find it here. Can they chase this one down? It doesn't look like they can. And even though Na'Vi get a nice wrap around there with the smoke gang, nothing to come of it. And maybe Vici can try and turn this one around. Soneko's hanging about. Will be able to tether himself back over.
Telekinesis an 8.
Funnick should be fine. He's got a snowball. I mean...
He's
stuck. He's stuck. He's got a snowball, but it's not going to save him. It's going to go back in, but I don't think he gets himself out of this one. Funny on the heel, in fact, from Archdale, but no, telekinesis. He gets slammed down, and it's going to be Vici finding the first blood there against the Tusk. And on Ice as well.
At the very least for Na'Vi, they do get one of the runes. If you lose a level 1 fight, often you will lose both runes, but Soneko managed to grab the top rune on the way out, secures him his bottle. It's very, very crucial for Na'Vi as they get off to, I don't want to say this is a bad start. It's not that horrible for them, but Ice 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 getting the first blood on his offlane Queen of Pain will give him more of a chance at fighting the anti-mage. As it looks for Na'Vi so far, they're looking to play a little bit of a mid-wisp here, maybe stacking for Dendi and maybe even pulling the mid lane to try to limit Super's impact on the game.
Dendi might need some help. I mean, yeah, we've got the back of Snake, and as you said, the early bottle is going to be very nice in lane here for Dendi to try and outlane Super. Super going to walk into a light strike array there. It's going to be interesting to see how this lane pans out in terms of who is going to come out on top in terms of CS between the SF and the Lina.
This should be an unwinnable lane for Vici Gaming if the Wisp and Lina play well together. Shadow Fiend with only the help of Shaker should not be able to get a good foothold in this lane. Lina can just play up very aggressively, even if they get a good fissure. Until Shadow Fiend is level 5, realistically 3 raises will not be able to kill Dendi with a bottle and overcharge. So looking for Na'Vi to win this lane. And as far as bottom lane goes, should also be a Na'Vi victory here with the 2-on-1 lane. Of course, SSIS did get the first blood, so helps him a little bit in that regard. And then top lane should be absolute free farm for Hao. I mean, cannot contest.
What is the plan with Hao here on the Luna? Is it the fact that Vici, they want to get the mech onto the SF, and as soon as that happens, when they group up, they're going to have Hao with that aura, with that extra damage, and with that extra pushing power?
Oh, wait, they've managed to
Seneca's trapped
entirely in mid. But at the same time, Dendi might get the kill instead.
Oh, he does! He gets it, Dendi, with the kill onto Super. Seneko only just getting himself out. Yep. Na'Vi turning that one around very nicely. Damn, so 1-1 now on the board. Dendi, as you said, he's having a very good time in the mid lane. Look at the CS, 9 for 3 on your Lina compared to the 2 for 0 on an SF, and it's a dead SF as well.
This is great start for Na'Vi in the mid lane, making up for the first blood going the way of the Queen of Pain. As far as the top lane goes, you asked what I think the Luna should go for, I believe.
Yes, what was the plan here with Hao?
I think just the standard early impact build with treads into optional drums and then Helm of the Dominator to stack camps and just look to farm. Because to be honest with you, I think if this just becomes a farm game and it just slows down, both teams are getting good farm, Luna can almost keep up with an Anti-Mage's farm if she gets complete free farm. You max the glaives, you stack camps, you farm really fast. In addition to that, you have a Shadow Fiend and a Quap that scale very well. On the side of Na'Vi, if Lina has a good game, can become fearsome, even super late game. It is very possible that Vici are looking to slow play a bit here.
Yeah, as you said, it's going to be all about this kind of Luna versus AM.
Okay, this is a little weird, because I just said Hao would go for an early impact build, right? I think treads are more or less mandatory. Treads or phase, I think we've seen Hao play it before. And it's because Luna has like 2 phases. When she gets her ultimate very early, when she's level 7, she's really strong with her spells, and it's all about getting in position and not getting burst down. That's why you get a bit of health. And then generally in the mid game, you slow down a little bit more. You try to focus on farming up the big core items so you can go into the late game. If you go for the full greedy build, where you don't get any sort of stat items, but just go, say, Mask of Madness or Midas, it's pretty risky, because then maybe Na'Vi can just take full advantage of the early game and run you over with a good mid lane performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Seneko at the moment, he's finding levels here on the IO. He's level 3 already here, soaking up a bit of XP from the mid lane. So we're going to have the relocator line in fairly good time. Dendi's still in the mid, 20 for 8 against the 9 for 0. The SF is having such a hard time, and he's really going to have to rely on stacks that hopefully the rest of his team are creating for him in the jungle. As we see, Ephemera is starting to work on it with the help of F1, and he needs this to be able to close that gap that Dendi's creating.
Absolutely. This mid lane is going very well for Na'Vi, and as expected, said Vici Gaming probably can't win this lane. They were pretty close to getting the kill on the IO, which would have made a world of difference for the Shadow Fiend, but didn't happen. So Na'Vi are continuing their absolute dominance of this lane. Dendi, one of the absolute best mid laners at lane control, just freezing the lane, holding it still, farming on his own cliff. Very naturally gets minute denies in the mid lane for that reason. And you just see Super, he's not even going to raise the wave. How often do you see a Shadow Fiend not wanting to do that in minute 4? He's going to go into the jungle immediately instead. Level 4, trying to raise the big camp. You generally don't want to do this before level 5, sometimes maybe even 7, because this is very mana inefficient, the damage you get per mana cost. But he feels like he has no other choice.
It's certainly going to be a slow start for Super, but you look at Vici and the fact they have got Ice on this Quap, he's going to be able to do a lot across the map. Once he gets that level 6 online, he's going to be able to start making those rotations, and maybe even in situations where they're going to be able to burst down Lina.
He might actually thread an art style quite a bit here. He could force over a rotation from Quavost, which will happen. He's going to have to leave the wave for a bit, and I'll let him mana break him once. Surprised Quavost doesn't actually blink for that and try to get a couple of extra right clicks in. And it's going to run at him instead. Maybe even force Ice to use that haste rune. Exactly. There we go. Definitely worth it for Quavost to sacrifice 1 or 2 CS for that, in my opinion.
Mid lane, we've got Funnick coming on the tusk, but it's been totally spotted out by the observer wards of Vici. They saw him come up the stairs. So they should be able to be catched. They're going to try and turn it around potentially. We've got Earthshaker coming in. And they will block Funnick off his Super moving forward here. Ice Charge thrown out, Funnick forcing them back up the stairs, and he's going to be okay. They've not quite got the damage, as you said. The levels that Super has, he just doesn't have the amount of damage with those razors to be able to blow up that Tusk.
Yeah, they are very, very nervous in the mid lane. If Dendy lands a stun, Shadowfiend might actually
this
die.
is big. Dendy needs to be careful.
Wait, what?
Oh, Ice, he's coming with the rotate, but Dendy with the Laguna Blade and now Light Stroke around to Ice. He might find a second. Funnick with the snowball. Ice, he's got no mana. Pops the charges, it's not enough. Double kill for Dendy. But Super, he turns it around, finds a double kill for himself. It's going to be a double kill to both sides there in the mid lane as Vici very nicely recover against what Na'Vi were able to set out to do so there.
Man, that was absolutely crazy. I actually think it was on purpose that FY lifted the siege creep with telekinesis because he couldn't reach the hero he was looking for, so he wanted to get the drop down stun. He didn't reach that either though, and Na'Vi got up to a really good start in that fight with Super with the 2 turnaround raise kills. Probably a minor victory for VG considering how important it is for them to get their Shadowfiend back in the game, and now he's actually pretty much tying the Lina, I think, on net worth. Only 300 behind all of a sudden, even though he is a whopping 17 CS and 17 denies behind.
That was a massive, massive fight, yeah, indeed, for the Shadowfiend. And so far, both the carries, Hao and Avos, pretty much been left undisturbed. We haven't seen either of them have any pressure from the each team support. A lot of focus around the mid lane, which I think understandably so, because Lina and Shadowfiend are really, they're the kind of heroes that are going to get the pace going. If Denny gets off to a good start, we're going to see him get an early Yule Scepter online, and then he's going to be able to find solo pickoffs across the map, especially even on heroes like the position one, like Luna, who is relatively squishy in the early game.
They're definitely going to be looking to combine Dendy with Funnick as early as possible to gank key targets. Funnick has tried to rotate mid with success in that situation. I mean, he did get 2 assists. They obviously didn't directly win the fight, but at least the combination worked out. Unfortunately for him, he's only level 3, and you're comparing that to the ISS Quad, who's level 5.5. Got quite a bit out of that first blood, as it would seem. Extra bit of gold and experience from that is very helpful.
Yeah. A bit of focus on Ice here as Outstyle just in the sidelines. Just keeping an eye on him. Dendy has backed off. He had a lot of nice stacks. And there's a triple stack and a double stack here in the Radiant jungle that Dendy's going to be able to clean up. And that's going to be putting pretty much right bang onto his Yule Scepter at this point of the game very early on if he closes that gap.
And that's going to allow him to solo kill the Shadowfiend, solo kill the Quad, solo kill the Lina. The Luna. He can actually solo kill every single hero on the Dire team. None of them is tanky enough to survive the full burst, I do believe.
And you got to remember as well, Seneko, he's nearly halfway to level 6, getting the relocate. I mean, if they have to relocate in Yules, as you said, anyone that's caught on their own on the map is going to die.
It's possible Hao can actually survive it because he has strength treads as well as Aquila. It gives him quite a lot of stats here. He's got plus 16 strength. So. But that is the only target Dendy can't find, and there is no doubt that Na'Vi are going to be kill hungry here in the mid lane. Looks like FY. It's just that's just
a bit of a neutral. Yeah, indeed, the invis hard to tell sometimes. And Snake reveals it. Still 3-3 at the moment, 9 minutes in. Funnick able to find himself a bit of space and time up here in this top lane, trying to work those levels up, but Hao finds himself a tower.
Very classic safe lane Luna. This is what Luna is extremely good at as a carry, is pushing towers early. Has great base damage, is a very natural Aquila carrier. Of course, if you have multiple heroes in the lane, just the benefit of having the Lunar Blessing just makes this push very, very swift. And he is indeed, as expected, going for the drum build-up, it looks like. He's got a Bracer in addition to his Treads Aquila, so very, very heavy on the stats early on. Already 1,100 health. I think he might actually be the tankiest hero on the map right now. He is, in fact. And that is a hero that's usually very squishy 9 minutes in, but combining his very good early farm with his item choices, he's going to be difficult to deal with.
And certainly, of course, Avos still working towards that Battle Fury. Has the Ring of Health picked up. Nearly got enough here to finish off that Perseverance. Ice trying to do what he can in terms of harassing Avos, but Avos at this point not scared at all on this anti-mage of that Quab. He's got a point in the spell shield to help him out in lane. Seneko and Artstar just clearing up some camps in the jungle. Seneko only 100 XP away from having that relocate online.
Oh, Ice needs to be careful here.
He should be able to just blink himself out of this one. Na'Vi will be able to secure themselves the rune, bottling up the bottle here for Seneko. And SF,
yours?
Is that done? That's it
10 minutes, that's a pretty good time. It's actually a very good time with the items he has. He has Bottle, Wand, as well as a Null. So looking good here for Dendy to be able to set up on kills. This means that realistically, no one can go to the mid lane to even touch a creep unless there's a defensive support there. So either Shaker or Rubik has to be there to disrupt the combo of Lina, as the moment they show on lane, you can just tether in, run up with Yules. The Yules move speed in addition to tether should bring Dendi up to, I would say, like 460 move speed or something like that, maybe even more.
And here's what you were talking about, the Dendi Funnick combo. Dendi leading in here with the Yule Scepter. Can he find the combo with the stun? Yes, he can. He's got a Laguna Blade as well. Bring it how low? How? Yeah, tries for the ult, but it's not going to come out. Does get taken down there. Seneko being credited with the kill. Super moving in with Fenrir. See if they can find something. He'll find the raises. Will be able to find himself one kill. See if he can find more. Dendi looks for the light strike. It's going to be juked out, and the relocate back out is going to bring them back safely towards the mid lane.
Good trade for Na'Vi, even though it's a 1-for-1. They kill the enemy safe lane, they force rotations, and only have to sacrifice their Tusk for it, while their anti-mage is free farming and should be able to deal some pretty decent damage to the bottom tier 1. I don't know what TPs are available for Vici Gaming. Looks like Rubik has one. Shadow Fiend does not. Shaker does as well, but those two supports porting in will not threaten Provost at all. This guy, however, together with them, might be able to repel him. He might just blink out here, just run away from Hal, but yeah, you saw Na'Vi had to put in quite a bit of effort to kill the Luna, but they do manage.
Yes, they certainly needed more than just Dendi on his own. And Vici smokes up now. Moving towards this bottom tier 1, it's going to be a question of whether they want to go out into Na'Vi's jungle, and the answer certainly seems to be yes. Super, FY and Fenrir leading the way here. They've got to catch Havorst. They've only got really the Fissure. I guess they can get the telekinesis as well. It might be enough time to lock Havorst in place to burst him down.
Odd style with the defensive ping, realizing that this must be going on. All heroes are missing from the map. This is a very obvious smoke play from Vici Gaming, but even though they don't find a kill, they'll probably find a tower, because all of a sudden they're now 5 heroes bottom. If now we want to try to defend this, they're going to have to TP in 2 heroes, they're going to have to get a really good relocate, and the time it's going to take for them to set that up, it's going to be too late. Luna with the 3-level Lunar Blessing could even pop a drum charge. This tower is not long for life.
Yeah,
very quick pickup.
Looks like they're just going to look to try and trade across the map. Dendi and Havorst applying pressure onto the mid lane, and top lane you've got Funnick pushing it right up towards the tier 1. TP going to be coming in now from FY here on the Rubik. Just going to be able to zone them back. And top lane TP's coming out as well, as we see Ice come back with the defense. So Na'Vi unable to find themselves a tower in return, but they do have the full 5-man now moving into the dire jungle. Maybe seeing if they can do anything about Ice here. It's going to be quite a hard guild to find onto the Queen. They haven't got a huge amount of lockdown unless they can find the Light Strike Yules combo.
If Funnick gets in on him, he is toast. Like, he is actually just going to be blown up. But they don't know where exactly is. Seneko is behind enemy lanes. Looks like, guess what? He is invisible again.
I know, so yeah. He knows something's up. The pressure's starting to be punted out. Gets himself out. Vici, however, at the same time, they're putting the pressure on this mid lane here. So even though they may lose the top, they may be able to find themselves the final tier 1 at the side of Na'Vi. The TP's now coming in. Looks like Na'Vi aren't going to let them have an easy one here. Dendi's there along with Funnick. I mean, the pressure of Vici is just a little bit too strong.
Aggressive weave here from Artstyle, and looks like Vici Gaming will back off. So 1 tower for Na'Vi. It did get denied by Ice though, so they actually didn't really claim that much out of it. Still, definitely a worthwhile trade for Na'Vi, I guess you could say, since they don't lose their own tower, but they might very soon. Artstyle is
he's so
in the right
dead
position right now.
Totally caught out there by the side of Vici with that smoke. Essentially tanking the gank though. As we'll see if Vici are able to find anything more after this. Na'Vi just going to look to find themselves this top rune. And they're not looking to fight at the moment.
No, this tower is gone. They're 4 on 5. Yeah. There's a weave stolen by FY. They have the mech advantage. He has 13 1 charges as well. For Na'Vi to blow up super, they need to land their entire combo perfectly, and there needs to be no counterplay. And of course there's going to be a counterplay. The moment they snowball in, there's going to be a fissure.
Oh, Funnick caught out here.
Oh.
Uses the snowball.
He is very dead now.
And yeah.
Uh-oh.
Who's going to get the kill?
To death.
Oh, Fate Bolt to the backside
Almost
there.
got out of that.
It was a close one, Sin. A close one. Mech now done, of course. And with this, Vici, the pushing power they've got with this Luna is just unparalleled by Na'Vi at this point. They're trying to do something to the tier 2 on the top lane, but Vici, and indeed still with the stolen weave,
it's actually doing
brilliant.
a lot of work for them.
Yeah.
It's going to force out a glyph. Meanwhile, Na'Vi doing their best to trade, actually dealing more damage right now than Vici Gaming are. So good exchange here for them. Dendi doing a lot of damage here, but just the overcharge and of course his attack speed from Fiery Soul. Now Hal comes in and should stop this attempt from Na'Vi.
So Dendi's backing off. Seneko tethering away, looking for the CP straight out as well. So Seneko's out. Dendi should be A-OK as well as Vici. Head back towards the mid lane. You've still got Ice here on the bottom lane, trying to find some farm for himself on this quad. He's coming up to 1k gold, so we'll see what he decides to opt for first in this game. I mean, for himself, does he go for the Yules, the Orchid, or straight up Aghanim's? What is the best time here for Ice?
I think it looks like an Ags. He's running to the secret shop with 1200 gold. Oh, he's thinking about it. He couldn't click the button. Now he found it. There you go.
So he's going to indeed be going for the Ags.
It's like the Ags. It's
Battle Fury.
It's simply the new trend of Queens of Pain. Like more often than not, now we see Aghanim being an early pickup. When you go back just a month, I think almost every single time we would see Queens getting Orchid first. Kind of the same trend we've been seeing on Storm Spirit, with a lot of Storms picking up the Bloodstone over Orchid early. Going for a little bit more of a tanky build here on Ice with the Aghanims. Of course, when this is looking to become a fighting game, a lot of the time the low cooldown ultimate will be great, and a little bit of extra damage, of course, doesn't hurt.
I mean, and now Havosta's got this Battle Fury on top of the treads. What's the game plan here for Vici Gaming? How do they stop the anti-mage farming? Do they just need to end the game before it gets to a certain point, or do they need to look for aggressive rotations into the Radiant jungle?
They might not need to end his farm as long as they get farmed themselves. Okay, so Neko's invis again. Are you kidding? Like, I keep seeing this like, it looks like he's out of position all the time. This is his third invis rune in this game, I think, if not the fourth. I think it's the third.
He's just getting
kind of ridiculous here.
Valuable intel here on the side of Vici.
But yeah, if Vici Gaming trade farm, and both their Shadow Fiend and Luna farm against the Lina and AM, I think they're going to feel pretty confident going into the mid game, because in my opinion, when you look at the supporting cast, the Dire have a Shaker who can be massively impactful in the mid game team fights. And on the Radiant side, the IO is a little bit iffy in this game, again, because of the pairing it has. I don't feel like it's going to be that powerful in the mid game. And then the Dazzle can be super high impact, of course, with a great Grave and a great Weave, but most of the time Weave will take a little bit of time to build up. And Rubik is always just an X factor. He's just good, always good mid-late game if you get the right steal, and FY tends to be pretty good at that. Now we get another tower, though.
They do. Vici went for a very aggressive smoke all the way right past the Radiant Ancients. Now they're backing up. Na'Vi needs to be careful. Snake's going to... Yeah, they're just straight out. And Funnick will be able to get himself out. Fisher! Ho-ho! Not quite soon enough. And Na'Vi do get away with, as you said, another tier 2.
This is a very good play from Na'Vi. They get the tier 2 tower, they have 0 casualties, they force a rotation, and Hvost is just free farming the bot lane. This is pretty much textbook how they should be playing this game right now, because I think relocate ganks and just aggressive plays in general with the Lina right now are pretty risky, since if they don't have vision of the defensive supports, it's very easy for Vici to just turn the fight on its head.
And Dendi at the moment as well.
Just map control, take towers, try to get superior vision so that Hvost can not only trade, so he doesn't trade farm, but actually out farms the opponent. And then they can hit a sweet spot around the 30-minute mark when Hvost has 2 big items. Maybe take the fight at that point.
6 for 4 at the moment, but still, Hvost at the top of that net worth. Dendi, he's closing in on the Aghanim Scepter. He's less than 1,000 away from having enough to pick up the complete deal. At the same time, Ice has got the point boost of the Ogre Club and working towards his penultimate item. So still a very close game here between these two sides. And it's still going to be very interesting to see how the Luna pans out as the game gets later. He's picked up the recipe for the BKB, has the club as well. Just under 1,000 away from picking up that Mithril Hammer. So with the BKB, we may see Vici Gaming look for more fights and look to push down more lanes and take further to the 2 towers.
I think with the BKB on Shadow Fiend as well as Luna, they're just flat out stronger in team fights for a period of time. Dendi will, as it looks, have the Ag Scepter ready at the same time. So if they time it very well, maybe they can get a key kill with a level 2 Laguna with Ag. But at the same time, the tankiness of the Dire lineup, they have the mech. Luna has good health, as we talked about earlier, so it might not be enough. And Ansemage's damage output right now against BKB targets is very low, and he actually doesn't even want to contribute in fights. We see Hvost still not having participated in any kills. He's 0-0-0. I do believe Vici Gaming will start putting a lot more pressure with the BKBs. They will look to fight the Radiant jungle.
He's blinked forward to farm here. Vici Gaming coming around the corner. Can they lock it down? Oh, he's blinked forward again!
What?
He's got to be careful. They pop the drums. They're going to chase this one down. Fisher onto a Vorce. He's caught out Echo Slam as well. There's no way he's getting out of that one. Soneko looked for the relocate back out, but there wasn't time for it. And now 6 seconds before he returns. Is he going to be able to get himself back to home? Ice looking for the kill. 3, 2, 1. Oh, he gets himself back just in the nick of
He's
time.
Gonna die too. Oh, he has 1 charges.
Oh.
So, okay,
a close one.
doesn't miss that scream, that's 2 kills. So, Na'Vi fortunate there to only lose 1 hero with a little bit of a misplay from the Queen of Pain. but they lose the biggest hero that they really can't afford to lose right now.
And off the back of it, Vici, they feel that they've got the space to go for Roshan, and I think they have. With one hero down on the side of Na'Vi and the damage and the Roche killing potential that Vici's lineup has, they should be able to make sure work with this one.
Getting blessed a little bit here by the RNG gods with a double damage for Super, minus armor aura, Luna aura, they could even drum charge. This is a very easy pick off, and now Vici Gaming definitely in the driver's seat. He's gonna go to the Shadow Fiend.
Dandy?
I was not sure if they were gonna give that to SF or Luna, but SF might be the better choice in this case.
Dandy, now very close to the Academy, so he's gonna have it.
100 gold away, right?
Yeah, he's less than 100 gold, 30 gold to go, and he'll have that under his belt. Here was Snako as well, but Forza's at the Shadow Fiend now. Of course, Vici Super starting to look very, very scary. 1,500 gold on top of the BKB, and as you said, with the Aegis on top of that as well. Luna with, I believe that's a completed BKB coming out. Yeah, you've got a completed BKB now on Luna as well. So this is that time, as you said, where it's going to be very hard for Na'Vi to fight 5-on-5 against Vici's lineup. And how?
Just be looking to slow it down a little bit.
A nice Ancient stack here as well for the side of Vici Gaming.
Yeah, Luna is also very good at farming this. Actually, I want to say a kind of unusual build here for Hao. Maxing out Lunar Blessing.
Can they burst Ice down? No, F5 there with a telekinesis to cancel the combo from Dendy. And that's going to be Na'Vi on the retreat. Dendy actually wanting to go back in here potentially. But there's 4 heroes on the side of Vici. They've got to be careful. Dendy and Snako just backing themselves out. The Shah's trying to block off Vici. They continue to retreat. And it looks like Vici won't quite be able to chase down the side of Na'Vi, and they do get themselves away.
This is what I was talking about earlier. The moment Na'Vi go for an aggressive play with their Lina, if there's any defensive support, this time it's the Rubik.
Oh, FY! He's going to get caught out here by the All Supers there as well. Super upon the BKB. They do burst down FY here first. Vici coming out onto 2. Snako. He's going to just get evaporated there. Super blows him up. They turn their attention towards Funny now. He's going to look for the TP. Will he be able to make it? No! Lucid beam from Hao. They'll clean up Funny as well, and they take down 2 in return for losing the Rubik there. Vici game with 2 kills, and off the back of that, Vici Gaming, they're starting to break themselves away from the side of Na'Vi. 9 for 5. The farm's looking good as well. Havorst is still in there. He's working his way towards the Yasha now. He's just a few gold away from picking up the recipe here. I mean, it's all about how much this anti-mage can do for Na'Vi and how hard Havorst can carry.
The issue here is Anti-Mage versus Shadow Fiend is not a good Anti-Mage matchup until he is really big. Like, at the current point in time, if they have the same net worth, Shadow Fiend just mauls him, right? You blink and Shadow Fiend just turns around and hits you, and you actually can't win that fight. So for now, Ghost can't really join fights. He's going to hit like a sweet spot if they just keep free farming, where he will be able to, I'm guessing he's going to go Manta into potentially Abyssal, unless he, see, that's the problem. He might have to get a BKB in this game as well to be able to deal with Vici Gaming's side, which is just more farm to be racked up. And a lot of the time in this tournament when we've seen an anti-mage pick be successful, it's because, you know, there's a really key target on the enemy team that you just blow up with Mana Void, and that's your early game contribution, like a Storm Spirit, Leshrac, or something like that. In this game, there's a Quap, but Ice has never really been in a really good Mana Void position. I think the spell has been used once all game, actually, so he hasn't really been able to contribute that much, and that just means, you know, Vici Gaming just get the farming trade. And to be honest with you, Luna also doesn't mind the one-on-one with AM that much. When he gets the Manta, if he comes in, it gives you something for the Glaives to bounce on, and you can actually just, maybe Hao will even be able to man-fight him for a bit.
Oh, Havorst was, he's got to be careful every time he goes to the Dai jungle, as we're seeing, but the Dai have got a fair bit of vision in their own side of the map. So anytime Havorst decides to go greedy and take those camps, I mean, we saw then Vici Gaming trying to respond with a smoke gank into it, but Na'Vi were quick with the retreat. They don't get caught out that time, but they've got to be very, very careful when they step over onto that side of the map.
Hao now with the helm of the Dominator, looking to maximize his farm here. Takes the Centaur Conqueror and sends it down to the Ancient's going to be stacking this. I think the build-up here for Hao is going to be keeping the Helm of the Dominator until he feels like he needs his Satanic, and then he's probably going to go into either a Mantis or a Butter now. I think Butter is the better choice in this case, so he can just actually just turn on the Flutter together with BKB and just run heroes down. Not needing to worry too much about sacrificing the evasion right now, as Anti-Mage is still not that big of a threat. And Ghost will definitely not want to be getting an MKB anytime soon, so can also play on that, maybe together with a Solar Crest pickup at some point.
Oh, Vici game. They're going straight for the...
Alternatively, you just, you know, go high ground.
I mean, look at the damage they're doing here. Na'Vi needs to do something in response. Is the tier 3 now dropping down to half health. They're trying to push it in return on the bottom lane, but I think they're realizing now TPs are coming back. The tier 3's gone down. They need to defend their base here. Dandy coming in just with the Dragon Slave, trying to force Vici back, and has caught out the SF of the Yules. Bottom lane at the same time, there's a bit of a fight going on. Horse jumping in on sides. Oh, and Mana Void blows up Ice. Now he's going to go for the tower here, and the question is, are Vici going to be able to defend? Vici, they're still fighting in the mid lane. There's 4 of them. They blow up Dendy. They'll find one. They're moving forward here as well, seeing if they can find Artstyle. At the bottom lane, though, Na'Vi, they're continuing to push. Horse to Seneko standing their ground. He's looking for the racks. He should be able to find it, and he will be able to find the melee Rex now. Ice and Howard coming with the defense. Seneko, with the Teva TP, he's out of there. He's back to base. He's